What's up, everyone? This is BigPowner, and I have kind of a short. It's basically just an Exalted Orb Slam. This is kind of a. I'm getting to the point where my build is kind of getting tight on slots. I'm trying to fix resistances. I have some really strong gear pieces. The stuff is really hard at this point for me to upgrade just because of how strong the gear is, and I have some issues like my resistances aren't right. I can use cluster jewels to fix this, but you need a lot of levels to be able to do this, or I would have to sacrifice defensive jewels that I already have. I have, in this case, a pretty strong neck piece defensively, and it's got tier 3 physical damage. I've got the cold damage on it, so they're both gaining from the attack modifier. However, I've got an open slot, and I have two in my prefixes, and I have two in my suffixes. I need resistances, obviously. So, looking through how I'm going to upgrade this, obviously I could have kept it like this and I could slam for the suffix. The reason why, in this case, I'm not choosing a suffix is all of the stuff that I can slam onto it, I have hardly no chance of getting anything that I'm going to want. Like Warlords, there's just literally nothing in the suffixes that's good. Hunter, there's only one thing that's good, which would be percent chance to gain power, frenzy, or endurance charge, but that's a really bad chance. It's one thing out of one, two, three, four, five, and one of them has a 4,000 category, which means that category is more likely to roll than anything else in the group. So that would be a really, really bad thing to go for. This pretty much leaves me at the Redeemer if I was looking at suffixes, which makes sense. Cold damage build, cold stuff. I have reduced mana reservation, purity of ice, that would be a complete rip. Grace, that would be a complete rip. It has a hatred reduced mana reservation. That wouldn't be bad. It's not really what I need though. I could wind up like trying to go and put like an extra something into the build for an aura, but that's not really what I need. Um, we have max chance to dodge attacks or spells. I mean, it's useful, but it's not really what I want. Chance to evade attacks, not bad. Increased effective non-damaging ailments, that's not bad, but I'm already pumping up non-damaging ailments. So, and then we have percentage increased dexterity. I'm not dex stacking, um, so I'm not going to get that big of an increase. And even tier 1, you're talking about like the equivalent of a tier 1, a tier 1 dex roll, so that's not very appetizing. Luckily, I can also slam onto the prefixes in this case. Once again, when we go through Warlord, there's just, I mean, it's basically fire and physical stuff. So, physical stuff can help us because we are using, or in my case, I'm using a physical damage weapon, and the the Ice Shot skill gem converts all of that physical damage to cold damage. So physical damage is basically the same thing as our cold damage with the Ice Shot. But there's just a lot of stuff that's just going to be a complete rip, just completely useless. Doesn't go along with what it is I'm looking for. Hunter, this is a really bad one because it actually has things. Well, first of all, it has one thing that would be good. Damage penetrates all elemental resistances. It also has the to level of skill gems that could be useful. Um, but that's the rarest stat on it to get one of those. And then we have like chaos stuff that's gonna wind up being completely useless. Life leech, pretty much useless. We have movement speed, that wouldn't be bad. Being able to move fast is good. I'm running the headhunter though, so I've got phase run, and I've got onslaught, and I honestly really don't want movement speed on my amulet. And then projectile pierce, an additional target. This is undesirable. I have one pierce that I'm running right now on the Void Fletcher just simply because I needed a cheap quiver that had some kind of comparable damage on it, and they're only like 35 chaos. But the one extra pierce is counterproductive to the build. And as soon as I can fix my resistances, I'll go back to a crafted quiver. But The Redeemer has, as we probably guess, in the prefixes a lot of really good stuff. We have damage penetrates cold resistances up to 10%. That would be ideal. We have to level of all cold skill gems. This would be really good because this would boost up hatred um, the, to all cold skill gems. So this would boost up our Herald. This would boost up our hatred. This would boost up our ice shot. It would that would be a good thing to get on there. We have percent increased damage per frenzy charge. Currently that doesn't help me. However, I'm trying to get an even better crafted quiver, and one of the things that I could do with that is I could go for a dual influence, percent physical damage is extra cold, and also go for a percent chance on hitting a rare unique enemy to gain a frenzy charge, because that is going to be like where my build's at right now. That would be the largest damage increase because of the attack speed, and it would be a total of 12% more damage. So that honestly would not be a bad roll. Obviously, we're talking about in order for it to actually work, I need more upgrades. Percent damage increase per 15 dexterity. Realistically, that's like 32% damage increase. Not bad, but not really that good. Um, and then we have percent of cold damage leeches life. This wouldn't be bad. This isn't ideal. I already have a lot of leech. The only thing that would be like completely useless on this would be percent of cold damage leeches energy shield. That would just be like that's absolute worst case scenario. And then gain number percent of physical damage as extra cold. That would be really good. So that is what I'm going to wind up doing. I am going to wind up having to, let's go and grab the Redeemer's Orb. I've had like no lucky slams this season. I've had no like best case scenario. Um, so I am going to wind up crafting on lightning resistance. Ooh, I don't have, let's go. Let's go to town real quick, man.
Greetings.
Um,
For freedom.
so this is actually going to wind up working out really well for me because I'm going to be getting something up there, and this is actually going to fix my lightning resistance. I think that is enough to fix it. Let's see. Yeah. Sweet. But my cold resistance... Oh, yeah, my cold resistance is messed up because I'm on that. So that way, now my resistances are finally fixed. That is a nice feeling. Hopefully now we're going to gain back that damage or even wind up with more by slamming this. Oh, God, dude. Oh. That is the story of my luck this league. It's like... Man, dude. That's absolutely horrible. Well, you know, you can slam smart. That is literally the only thing I didn't want. Oh, God, dude. Oh. Oh, man. This is the story of my league. If you guys have been following, like, all of my crafts, I mean, this has just been all league for me. Like, I have had the most unlucky league I think I have ever had playing PoE. I have not had a single craft go well for me. I've not had a single slam go well for me. It is literally like I should just be expecting every single influence slam to just be like worst case scenario at this point. That is really, really, really unlucky. Like, literally, the entire pool is all good stuff. Like, some stuff is better, but the entire pool, and this is a dual stat. Like, if it was cold damage leech to life, at least it would be useful for me. This is the only thing on here that does absolutely nothing for me. And this amulet would be really hard to drop because it's to to replace because it's got the Gauze Elites on it. It for me to attempt this again is probably going to be really expensive. But that is absolutely a horrible rule for me. There is some room on the amulet to improve, so I guess that's the bright side of it. Is that now when I go out and replace it, because if I would have gotten something good, I would have kept the amulet, obviously because it would have fixed my build, but now having a completely useless stat on it and having a few mediocre rolls, it is just I'm gonna have to replace it. But that absolutely sucks. Oh man, that is not. This is how I don't do crafting for a while because that is really bad luck. And I think the last video I released, I wound up with an absolute worst case scenario also. And there's been a few. I don't record all the stuff I do because I do mess around a lot, but this is what it's been like for me all league. If my methods did not work, I would be in the most garbage gear in the game because I am not having any luck. I haven't had a single stack deck. I've opened thousands of stack decks this league. I haven't had a single card, and I enjoy opening them, but my luck's been so bad this league that it's like, I, and then Elder and Shaper, my most valuable drop. I don't even know how many I've done. I think I'm like negative 100 EX in fragments, and my most valuable drop was an ivory tower that I had to use a prophecy on it to actually make it worth 55 chaos. That's my best drop. I got a solstice vigil after they dropped to the point where they're not even worth the value of even half the fragments. So that is the story of my league so far. Hopefully next league I'll have my first lucky league, but this league has been terrible. Anyways, thanks for watching. The bright side is it doesn't hurt me that much. I can afford to replace the stuff, so um, that is how it goes sometimes. Anyways, thanks for watching. Peace out.